Hey, it's Tony talking car biz. I'm here at the dealership. This morning, I've got this gorgeous 2020 Toyota Camry XLE Hybrid, and the color, gorgeous. Ruby Flare Pearl. It's an extra charge color. Let's dive in and see what we can find. So taking a quick look up front on the XLE Hybrid, you can see the headlights are projector style headlights with an LED cornering lamps, and you've got your amber outside blinkers. These are kind of that J curve that you see on the Toyota Corolla as well, so very similar styling cue. The bumper is colored to match, and we've got some sensors in the bumper here as well as some other safety features that I'll talk about shortly. But essentially these are your pedestrian detection and your dynamic cruise control all built into the front bumper, and they really conceal them pretty nicely. You can see they go from a red to a gray here in the center. The lower part of the bumper here, the air dam if you will, this is kind of a gunmetal gray painted surface, very upscale looking, and also at the same time a sporty look, so a really nice big bold grille on there. You can see that color, that ruby flare, really shines in the lights. As I mentioned, it is an extra charge color, but I think well worth the cost. Taking a look at the grille itself, piano black finish here, and then it is the hybrid, so you get the blue highlights or shadow if you will on the emblem itself. Here's your forward facing camera. Part of the 360 camera bird's eye view package, which this one has. And then behind here are all the sensors for the Safety Sense P that's on this particular vehicle. So you've got that dynamic cruise control, you've got pedestrian detection, lane departure detection, and a boatload of other safety features, which I'll put a link in the description over to that Safety Sense P package on the Toyota website. But a very strong front end, very much an upscale look. It is the XLE edition, so that's the luxury edition on the Camry. Let's go ahead and dive in and take a look at your tire and wheel package. Okay, so the wheel setup on here, we've got an 18-inch machined aluminum alloy wheel, and it looks really nice on here. You can see the aluminum machining is here on the outside surfaces, and then on the inside it's a painted silver. So a very nice upscale spoked look aluminum wheel. And then the tires are a 235 45 R18, and they're a nice smooth tire on the road. They're quiet, and they're a low friction tire, and that's going to help a little bit with the fuel economy. And with 46 miles per gallon combined sitting in highway, Toyota is really trying to get the best aerodynamics and the lowest roll resistance out of those tires and wheels. Continuing down the side of the Camry Hybrid, of course you're going to get the hybrid badging. The mirrors are painted to match the vehicle, ruby red flare. Something kind of interesting on the Camry is they're constantly trying to improve fuel economy, reduce wind noise. So you'll see there's these little fins here. There's some on the back lights, tail lights, I'll point those out, but even some really small ones right here on the mirror, which are designed of course to help with wind resistance and reduce wind noise. The mirrors of course do fold in, so if you've got a tight garage, you're good to go there. They do have, the blinkers are right here in the mirror, and those are LED blinkers. And then the mirrors also collapse outward, so if somebody clips it with a grocery cart or a bicycle or something like that, it folds away. Here's your blind spot monitoring system built right into the mirror. And then for added styling down the side, we do have the chrome trim that runs around the window completely on both sides. Now the door handles are of course colored to match, meaning they're the same color as the car. And then this has the keyless entry system, so you can just put your hand right on there with the smart key. You don't need to get your keys out of your pocket or purse or what have you. You can see the trim on the windows are the piano black, which is what we saw on the front grille, so tying that all together. The back windows are not tinted, but if that's something you're interested in, dealers can do that for you. Fuel doors here on the driver's side. And one thing I didn't mention up front, but I'll mention here at the rear, we do have four-wheel disc brakes all the way around, and we have the automatic braking system, and we have anti-lock brakes as well for added safety. Let's go ahead and take a look at the back of the car, see what we can find there. Okay, so at the back of the car, we do have XLE hybrid badging, Camry badging, and then of course we have the hybrid Toyota emblem or logo as well. The rear deck lid actually has the spoiler curved right into the deck lid itself, so very refined look there. Power windows and power door locks, and then we have the shark fin antenna for your sound system up on top as well. So very sporty, but also an upscale luxury look to the car across the back. You can see those bright tail lights. We do have your backup sensors here in the bumpers and a single exhaust coming out the back. Now as a hybrid, it is the 4-cylinder engine, so just a single exhaust out the back. And then this is a nice matte black finish on your lower air dam. Up under the deck lid here, you'll see there's your backup camera, which works as part of your 360 camera package. And there's a button right here to be able to open the trunk if you don't have your keys handy. And there's also a place right there to use your key. So there's your camera. Taking a look into the trunk, we've got all-weather floor mat package on this one, so that includes, and this is an extra charge, includes the rubber mat, and then down underneath is where you're going to find your tool kits and your spare tire. The back seats do fold down, and the handles for that are right here. That's something I'd like Toyota to do a little bit different. I think it'd be great if they made it so you could drop it back here as well as up in the back seats. A lot of cars have buttons on the back seats that you can drop the back seats down, but not on the Camry. So I think that would be a nice addition, maybe for the 2021 model year. So taking a look in the trunk, I've got that seat folded down. You can see 40% there, 60%. And there are plenty of space here on the right-hand side and over there. So if you have golf clubs and you throw them in like that, you should be able to put 3 or 4 sets of golf clubs back there. There's a place back here to hang your groceries or your cargo net, which by the way is an accessory that can be purchased through the parts department. Let's go ahead and jump in the front seat and see what we can find up there. And go. Okay, diving into the driver's side, we'll stop first here on the door and take a look at what we have. So there's a brushed aluminum trim piece that runs right up into the door handle here. Looks super nice on this vehicle. Power windows and power door locks. All 4 windows are auto up and auto down, and power mirrors right there. There's a place here for maps and magazines on the doors. There's a really small bottle holder here as well, so it will fit a smaller size bottle of water or what have you. The seats, both seats are full power in terms of forward, backwards, up and down, and power recliner. The driver's seat does have two-way position lumbar support. Passenger seat does not. The seats are full leather, and they're perforated leather seats. And then this one has the ventilated heated seats as well, for the front driver, front passenger. And you can see there is a contrast brown racing stripe down the center. And we do have adjustable headrest and height adjustable seat belts right here on the side as well. So a very comfortable seat and lots of adjustments. Down on the lower portion of the dash, there's a number of on-off switches that I want to point out. Starting here with, this is for your automatic bright headlights on and off, I'm sorry. So if you turn that on and then put your headlights in the bright position, they'll automatically bright and dim themselves based on oncoming traffic or if you're behind another car. So that's kind of nice. Traction control on and off. This is your bird's eye view on and off. Trunk release, and then your gas door is a power gas door, and the release is right here. And then there's a small storage or coin tray right there. The steering wheel does have tilt and it is telescoping, but it's not power tilt and telescoping. On the inside, I'll point this out before we get there, but you do have the piano black finish with the gunmetal gray painted trim on all across your dash and your vents, and makes it super upscale in terms of the look. I think it's a rich look for the vehicle. And then you have your trip meter and your dimmer switch for your dash lights are right down there. Let's go ahead and jump in the seat and see what we can find. Okay, so in the driver's cockpit, it's the new 3-spoke steering wheel for Toyota with the brushed aluminum trim and the Toyota badging right in the center. On the left-hand side, we've got controls for our information center, and then our Bluetooth connectivity for our smartphone, volume for our sound system. And then on the right-hand side, cruise control is now here on the steering wheel instead of a stalk down low. This is your sensitivity sensor for your dynamic cruise control. And then we have our lane departure detection right here. And then these are your different modes for your sound system, changing the radio station and such. On this side here, we've got our automatic headlights, and the XLE does not have fog lights, so your headlight controls are here with your daytime running lights. And then on the right side are the controls for your front washer wiper. There is no rear washer wiper on a Camry, not even available. Let me go ahead and start it up so you can see what it looks like when you wake it up in the morning. So let's turn those lights off. And we do have a push button start as part of the smart key system, standard on the XLE. The first thing you'll notice is not much. Because it is a hybrid, it doesn't make any noise when it first starts up, but then if it needs to start the engine because of a demand for power, it'll go ahead and do that. Now your gauge cluster has a ton of features to it, but I just want to point out the basics. On the left-hand side, these are your gauges for your charging system for your hybrid system. On the right-hand side, we have our speedometer and our fuel gauge, and these are all mechanical gauges. You've got a nice brushed aluminum bezel, and the white on black is super easy to read. We also have different setups for our econo mode, normal, and sport mode. So you can change the shift patterns on the transmission. You can see there's some buttons right down here on the center console, eco, normal, and sport. And as you toggle through those, it changes the gauge lights. So right now you can see that we've got green down here and it says eco mode up there. If I toggle to normal, then it goes to a white. And then if I toggle to sport, notice everything turns to the red, and then it reads sport up on there. So that's your visual indicator in terms of what drive mode you're set up in. Now, the information center on here is pretty darn robust. There's a bunch of settings, including your lane departure settings. You can see I've got the doors that are open, indicators. I've got a compass built in there. So a ton of features. I'll include a link to the gauge cluster in the description so you can take a look at that in detail. Outside temperature, tachometer, your clock, all set up there within the gauge cluster. Moving over to our center stack, we have a touchscreen center stack with navigation. This is dynamic navigation, and so you can also move around. It does have points of interest. The sound system on this one is the JBL audio system, which does have a CD player, which is kind of nice. It does have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and then the JBL audio system, which is an upgrade, does have an additional subwoofer in the trunk, and then up here in the A pillars, there's the JBL sound speakers. So all the speakers are upgraded to a JBL speaker system. It's a great sound system. Stop by, give it a listen, see what you think. We do have automatic temperature control, and it is front driver, front passenger. And there you go, the engine started up because I demanded that extra power. You can sync those together so that they're at the same temperature, or you can set them individually. Rear window defrost is right here, and then we also have heated outside mirrors. XM satellite radio, and it is an HD radio. So as I said, a very good, very high-end sound system. Come in, give it a listen, judge for yourself. Down low, low, low. We'll start right in the center. So we have it's an automatic transmission, leather wrap shift knob, dual cup holders right here. Here's our switches for our parking brake, our brake hold, and then our EV, full electric vehicle mode. And then down in the center, this does have heated and ventilated seats. This particular one has the ventilated seat package. And then way up underneath, I'm just gonna switch this into gear. Go ahead and close my door and get rid of that buzzer. We do have the QI wireless charging system. So you can go ahead and just drop your phone here if it's a wireless charging capable phone. If it's not, we do have a 12 volt outlet here, and we do have USB connectivity right there. So that may be helpful. And then down underneath here, there's additional storage. Boom, just like that. Here's a quick look at your dash from the driver's side. So there's kind of a marbled wood applique right here. I'm sure it's plastic, but it looks pretty nice. And you can see up under the dash and in the door handles, there's some ambient lighting, so like a blue ambient lighting, and that extends out into the doors as well. It's hard to see in this bright light, but I think you get the point. The center armrest is quite large, wide and long. It is stationary, so it does not move. And there's plenty of room for two arms on it for sure. You won't be fighting over elbow room. And then underneath, a huge storage compartment. You can see here, and then there's two more 2.1 amp USB ports right there as well. So plenty of places to charge or plug in your electronic devices. Now turning our attention up toward the rear view mirror. It is a HomeLink rear view mirror, and it also has automatic dimming on the mirror. Up here we have overhead dome lights, and those are LED lights. This one does have the power sliding moonroof, which is an extra charge item, and that's these switches right here. And then of course part of Safety Sense P is we do have the Safety Connect system right there. Your visors fold down. They also have extensions on them, so you can slide it in and out. And then vanity mirrors are lit on both front driver and passenger. Here's a quick look at that power moonroof, which by the way does have a retractable shade, just like that. So there's an overview of the interior. Let's go ahead and jump out and I'll finish up under the hood. Okay, diving under the hood to finish it up. This is our power plant. It is of course a hybrid, which means you've got a gasoline engine and electric motors working together to achieve that 46 miles per gallon. So the engine itself is Toyota's 2.5 liter 4-cylinder gasoline engine, a great solid engine. That engine has a 5-year 60,000 mile powertrain warranty, which includes your transmission and your electric motor system. And then our electric motors are powered by the battery system and the synergy system. And the battery now, which is new for 2020, the batteries are 10-year 150,000 mile powertrain warranty, or battery warranty, I'm sorry. There's no deductibles on any of the Toyota warranties, and then every new Toyota does come standard with Toyota Care, which is going to take care of your maintenance, your regular scheduled maintenance for 2 years or 25,000 miles. So that'll save you money over time. And the hood does have the hydraulic struts, so it stays up by itself, no prop rods. Overall, a great powertrain setup. The transmission is a CVT transmission, and together the gas engine and the electric motors generate 208 net horsepower. And as I said before, the fuel economy is, the horsepower is 208 horsepower. So a really nice setup. That's your powertrain on the 2020 Camry Hybrid XLE. So there you have it, a quick overview of the 2020 Toyota Camry XLE Hybrid, available for sale at Smart Motors Toyota in Madison. This is Tony talking car biz. Hey, if you like my video, go ahead and like it. If you want more like this, subscribe to my channels. Turn on the notification every time I do a video. You'll get notified. And then if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please go ahead and comment in the comments, and I'll respond as quickly as I'm able. Thanks again.